I'm unplugging and
for
replugging
the
my. Oh,
for the
right when I say.
first Fanta episode of the Fanta Weekly podcast. I am Thunder 24 fan, joined by Monster and Trix fan. So hello to you guys, and how are you guys doing today?
Yes.
Um,
That's all you got to say? Yes.
Yes. Well, that's
I
all.
mean, I'm doing good myself, Thunder.
yep. So we had a very eventful race at Coca-Cola yesterday night. Um, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about over that. And first thing we got to talk about, first time winner in their first ever start, Dudes Castro Neves. So
Um.
for Truex Fan Racing. So Truex Fan, I know you're obviously very happy about that. Um,
Yes.
but I'm honestly really shocked that this is the first time in Fanta Cup Series history that a driver has gotten their first career win in their first ever start. And yesterday, Dudes Neves made history. So,
Yep.
um, that's pretty insane if you ask me. So, I want to hear your guys' opinion on it.
Uh, I'll let Trix fan speak first because it's his car after all.
All right, Trix
Yes.
fan,
Yes.
is that it?
Yes.
Okay, so, Monster, what do you have to say about it?
Well, a bit surprised. I mean, it's his first start after all. I mean, I don't think anybody saw it coming. Um, but he was a front runner all day long. He earned that win, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it goes from here.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like now that also he has been signed to the 19 for the rest of the season after Chicagoland, but we'll get into details of that later in our fourth topic. But um yeah, that's it was pretty surprising, pretty shocking to see him win, but um first driver in Fanta Cup history to do that. What an effort. I mean, on it, he almost got taken out a couple times, especially in that last big crash that took out basically so many good cars that also had a chance to win that race, but unfortunately they were four wide and the wreck happened. So
I mean, you can't say it's a Mickey win. I mean, he was at the front, like I said. He
oh
contended all day
oh
long,
no oh
and
definitely not. That was well deserved win by Dudes Castro Neves, and he was running an AutoNation scheme based off of his uncle's Indy 500 winning car, and yeah, this is yeah, it's pretty special to have him in the series, and it's basically and I really love to see that car in victory lane, which it was yesterday night. So um, it was pretty thrilling to see that, but not only that, but it's Truex Fan Racing's first win this season, I think. Um,
In Cup.
yeah, first win this season in the Cup Series. Um, and
And
it came,
overall.
yep, and it came from a rookie in his first start, which is the most shocking thing ever.
the the thing that shocks me most about this is dudes comes in to a car that Quad's been driving for 2 seasons now.
And he hasn't
Well,
won once in it.
exactly. That's what I find the most shocking about this.
And here's the thing about it. He was supposed to make a start in the 25 last season in that part-time car with Jaden and Pendoyle. Um, so, but fortunately he left before Darlington, which was the race he was supposed to make his original debut in. But he came back to the Fanta Cup Series and he went back to Truex Fan Racing once again and scored that first victory in his first ever Cup Series start.
That is true.
I
So,
mean, yeah.
go ahead, Monster.
I mean, I was just agreeing with everything you were saying. That's all.
Yep. So pretty much a comeback story, I guess. I mean, it was pretty definitely, yeah, definitely a shocker. It was well, really fun to watch that race, and with all the action happening as well. Um, so I hope future Coca-Cola Super Speedway races are the same way, especially with this new next gen car that we have.
The next gen has put on some good racing this year. Let's hope it continues that with the rest of the season.
And seasons to and with seasons to come. And one thing I want to also talk about, moving on to our second topic, um, 260 mile an hour racing. So really high speeds, and that's faster than an Indy car around Indianapolis. Those things go around 230, 240 miles an hour, and the speeds the speeds are absolutely ridiculous here at Coca-Cola Super Speedway, and yeah, so the cars are like going very fast. This is the fastest. These are the fastest speeds that we've ever seen in the Fanta Cup series. We talked about it earlier in the early part of the season before the season started, when we tested these cars around here at Coca-Cola Super Speedway, and it definitely brought some good racing, but also it brought some dangerous racing as well, which that's in our next topic, I believe. Yep, that is in our next topic after 260 mile an hour racing. But what are your guys' opinion on the speeds?
I mean, if they hit the wall at the wrong angle, that could be bad.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the biggest crashes could probably happen. I don't think these crashes that we saw last night were even the biggest crashes in the Fanta Cup series. Like we've seen a lot worse. I mean, it's it's been a lot. There's been tons of crashes that um have been huge, like really big, but tonight we had a couple big crashes and a couple scares. So we'll move on to that. Um, so part three is the big crashes. We saw Reese. We saw Jaden get a tap from Truex fan when Reese came down into Jaden, and then Jaden got forced into Truex fan, sending Reese flipping up and over, getting hit while upside down, getting Ryan Newman basically. So, um, yeah, and then we saw an overtime crash, or a crash that, a crash that resulted into us having to go into overtime, and that definitely shook up the finish, because there was only 3 cars that were on the pace. So
And and also don't forget that crash where Beal hooked NASCAR fan and it resulted in Kenyon getting flipped and hit by Connor and so on.
yeah, yep, that was also can't forget that. But Kenyon did say he was fine in that race, but he definitely not the start to the season he wanted. Definitely not.
Not really.
Nobody wants a bad start to the season, especially after Kenyon's team last season was maybe around he was the 16th. Was he the 16th seed in the
Like
playoffs last season?
15th.
Yeah,
15th.
15th seed in the playoff last season, but he made it to the round of 8. Bravo to him, but this season might not be that way. I mean, it's a shorter schedule. Yeah, go ahead, Monster.
Because if we look at the playoff standings, Kenyon is outside the top 20 in points. Well, his three teammates are currently in the top 16.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is yeah, very very interesting because it's 5 Hour Energy Racing, and Kenyon has usually been the best driver on that team, but he's just not had the best start um, to the season, and that's definitely not paid off for him. Down 26th in the standings precisely,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
So another thing relating to 5-hour energy racing from this race, first iteration of the David Rudiman.
um,
Oh, yeah.
I don't. Wait, what do you mean by that?
The nickname incident.
Oh. So, yeah. So, nickname. They also nickname also got crashed with a little bit after. I think nickname was actually the cause of the first caution um of the
I
race.
think it was, because he tried to
Wait, no, I think
wreck.
it might have been little later on. Actually, I don't think he tried to wreck. Well, yeah, he definitely. Go ahead and finish what you're saying, Monster.
Because it looks like he came up and almost wrecked the 56, but then he also collected the 93 of Dre.
Yep, that too, and then nickname definitely got the worst of that crash. I don't think he didn't have a good car, um, basically for the rest of the race. So definitely not the not the race he wanted to have, considering he's also near that bubble spot in the playoffs. Um, so yeah, definitely not great for him. So um, anyway, back to 260 miles an hour, or the big crashes. Excuse me. So we had some pretty big crashes that tonight, and to wrap it up, basically, I mean, we're probably gonna continue to see these types of crashes in the Phantom Cup series, especially here at one of the most dangerous crashes, or the most dangerous tracks, I should say. My apologies, but um, yeah, that's about it. But this definitely we have not. There's been way bigger crashes. I know you guys have seen them.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
for sure.
go ahead, Monster.
For sure. I mean, we've seen tons of crashes in Fantasy history, but going 260 miles per hour and wrecking, going flipping, probably not one of the best times to wreck.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially down those long straightaways where you can just gain speed, going over 255, near 260. Um, it's just a bad mix. It's just a really bad mix. And heading over to what are the next topic. The question is, what is our first time winner's future with Truex Fan Racing? Um, so I
I mean,
actually go ahead, Monster.
we've got the owner in here himself, so
Yep, Truex Fan. I know you definitely want Dudes Castro Neves on your team next season. So describe to us what his future is.
Um, Future after Chicagoland is set for the rest of the season. Next season nothing is confirmed, but yeah, we plan on having him back in the 19 for uh next season. But anything after that I can't really confirm. So
And yep. So yeah, it has actually been confirmed that Coley is being ruled out of the 19 for the rest of the season after Chicagoland. So this is actually Coley's final start in the 19 next weekend at Chicagoland, and yeah, Dudes Castro Neves, he'll be filling in. Um, yeah, it's just I feel like he's gonna do great in the for the rest of the
yeah,
season, especially because
yeah,
um, even if he's a rookie, he basically got a win in his first start. I mean, yeah, it was a super speedway and mostly everybody was wrecked, but It doesn't take away the fact that he was up there for a long while, even
Yeah.
before that big wreck.
I think he was like in the top 15. I think the entire race, majority of it at
Yeah.
least.
And then and even before the big crash happened, he was like, he was top 5, definitely top 10, top 5.
He was ahead of all the wrecks. So
Yeah,
And,
he almost got clobbered in the final one. I could show
yeah,
the
he did.
replay, but not going to. But he barely escaped the last crash, which took out most of the other front runners. We saw some yeah, it took out a lot of guys that we thought could win this race. Took out Truex Fan, Monster, took out me as well. Took out a lot of guys. Zevel, I think, had the car, one of the cars to win this race.
Yeah.
So, and EXO
Leo
as well.
did too.
Yeah, Leo.
And
Yeah, Leo's in the Hornets nest of that.
yeah, Montero and Throttle also had good cars, but yeah.
Yep, Noisy as well. The Red Bull cars were fast, and so were the Team 7 cars.
Henjo could have also been a competitor.
Yep, that is also true. So a lot of good cars got taken out in that last crash. So unfortunate for them, but this is super speedway racing, especially at Coca-Cola. But at least they can be credited with top 20 place finishes, because there was about 20 to 22 cars on track before that. So yeah, it's unfortunate for them, but they didn't lose that many points, I guess.
That's true. They didn't.
So really, the first time winner, Dudes Castroneves, his future with Truex Man Racing, I think, is looking very bright. So
Indeed.
moving on to topic 5. What do we expect in the coming races? I'd say do you guys think there will be more first time winners?
Well, I mean, with the amount of guys that are still looking for their first win, and with some of the rookies that we have in the field, I feel like there's a good chance. But like, we got some front runners. Like, we've got Moff, who's up there every week. We've got pretty much, it's up in the air who's gonna win at what track.
Yeah, especially because some of these teams, like Moff's team, Almost Rebels Racing, they went from basically a mid-pack team to a contender for the championship this season. And right now,
Maybe not the. Sorry, Thunder, you can go.
All right, I'll let you go after. But they've been up front for most of the whole season. Moff getting those 2 victories in the first 2 races, but it's kind of been up and down with him. I mean, he after Daytona and Auto Club, he got a 22nd place finish at Atlanta. Then, or was it a 19th place finish at Atlanta?
It was
Yeah,
19th.
19th.
Yeah, 19th at Atlanta, 22nd at Richmond.
Well, I feel like 22nd wasn't where he deserved to finish. I mean, he was up front most of the race, but
And then he finished, I think, 11th in the next race after Richmond. So
The race after Richmond was Coca-Cola.
Oh wait, no. He scored an 11th place in Richmond. my bad. So yeah, apologies there, but he did score 11th in Richmond, another top 15. Yeah. So, and then he follows it up by getting a 2nd place runner-up to Dudes Castroneves. So yeah. Moff's been around here, I think, for the entirety of Fanta, and he's been making good. Most of his career, I think, hasn't been the best. He did score 1 victory. I think that was in season 3. I could be wrong.
well, season 4 or no, it was season 5 at Rockingham last season. I remember.
So that was his first. That was his first career victory. Then he got his 2nd career victory at the in this season's Fantona 500. Then he scored another victory at Auto Club, putting him at 3 victories, putting him third all time in the wins list, which is pretty yeah, pretty crazy. To go from, you know, maybe a back marker team, mid pack team, to a winning team, basically, and maybe a championship threat.
Yeah, Moff's team is really on. His team really got strapped to a rocket, and now it's going into space.
Oh, definitely, for sure. Um, but honestly, I know you're here, Connor, but I just want to talk about Texas Motorsports.
Hmm.
They've I mean, they've been pretty decent. Connor, I don't think he's above the cut line right now. Connor, you're above the cut line, but
Yeah,
I don't think you've had the start to the season that you've been hoping for.
I was hoping that me and my team could get the start of could start off the season the same way we ended it last season, with just being consistent, trying to go for wins. In these, in like the first few races of the season, we haven't been able to pick up that many top tens.
Oh, definitely, because I mean, you did have a string of bad luck, and that's pretty unfortunate. Um, a lot of teams have had a string of bad luck. Mark Motorsports has had a string of bad luck. I know Monster, um, he's I think he co-owns Mark Motorsports. I could be wrong.
Yep, that is correct.
All right, so yeah, Mark, he's almost got a victory for his team at specifically at Vegas this season, but unfortunately he got taken out by a lap car. Um, can't remember. Was it quadruped or
Yeah, it was
It was
quadruped.
yeah?
positive.
Because the other Quad Kid Boy took out the top 3 at wait no Quadruped took out the top 3. Quad Kid Boy took out Nickname. So yeah, the two quads definitely um you know, I guess working together to take the leaders out as lap cars that race, but interesting tactics there, I guess. Um anyway, we move on to our 5th topic. Which is, well, actually no, 6th topic, um, which is which is the shortened schedule. We shortened the
Yeah,
schedule by 8 races, and that's gonna definitely shake up some things. As I'll let you go, Monster.
yeah, because we originally had it at 33 races, but now we're down to 25. So that's definitely going to be something interesting to watch.
As yeah, now that we just completed our 6th race, we are underneath we are under 20 races to go in the season, and that also means wait,
We
that
have 9 races to go to the playoffs
yeah,
because 6 would have been 10.
yeah, that is true. 9 races to go already, so it's gonna be a pretty short season, and I think next season will be pretty short as well. But this also means that the other schedules are getting shortened, and that's gonna change the playoffs as we know it so far. Um, changing tracks in the playoffs. For example, we got rid of both Martinsville races, and that's gonna put Daytona in the playoffs, and also let's I'm just trying to find it here. Let me look at pinned messages. So yeah, that moves New Hampshire and Daytona into the playoffs. So it's gonna be an interesting playoff battle, I think. So um, it also puts Phoenix as the second to last race. The race before the cutoff race of the round of 8. and it puts the Charlotte Roval as the first race of the round of 8. So, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting. I think it's gonna be an interesting season in terms of who's gonna make the playoffs, and I also think it's gonna be interesting, interesting playoff schedule. It's gonna definitely
Yeah.
bring something different. As I'll let you go, Monster.
The other thing I find interesting is the regular season finale, because the regular season finale is on a road course. We go to Sonoma.
That is true. We actually never had a road course as our finale before, but this is the first time in Fanta history that we have had that. Um, so yeah, um, and then we have Kansas, the first Kansas race before that, and then Michigan and Indianapolis, then Darlington, Watkins Glen, Charlotte, then the All-Star race, which is in 3 races after Chicagoland and Talladega, and so that's gonna be pretty interesting. My
And
opinion.
we have shortened all the other schedules as well.
Yep. I have not seen all the other schedules. ARCA hasn't been edited because I made that schedule. Um, and I have yet to edit it, so I know all of us know that. But Truex Fan has made all the other 2 schedules, and Truex Fan, what did you do to those schedules?
It's hang on, I'm just getting them up here right now. Might take a hot minute.
All right, we will give Truex Fan some time to find it.
Yeah. So, now that with the changes, most recent changes to the schedule, Kansas is now the regular season finale for the Shell Series.
Yeah, so different tracks across all 3 series. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting for all 3 series, and I think it's gonna be crazy when we're heading into the playoffs. But now, moving on to our 7th topic, we're not talking about tracks anymore.
There's,
But
wait, hang on. There's one more schedule change.
go ahead.
The Truck Series. Talladega is now the regular season finale for the trucks.
Oh,
Oh
gosh.
my gosh! Okay.
We gonna have a good regular season finale for that series.
Oh, definitely. I think so. That's
Yeah.
wow. Well, that's gonna be very interesting to watch. Maybe some desperate moves might be made, but we have seen Daytona as the regular season finale in the NASCAR Cup Series, and it continues to be the regular season finale nowadays. And in the Fanta Cup Series, our regular season finale is Sonoma, so we're going to a road course. But we were talking about playoff tracks, but I want to move on to playoff drivers. That's our 7th topic, and let's talk about your guys' picks, your guys' playoff picks, and also the guys towards the bubble. So, what are your guys' picks for the playoffs?
I mean, Moff's really shown some consistency early. I feel like he's already the favorite to win this championship, but we've seen in the past we have a favorite like last season. We had Monster win 4 races. He didn't even make the playoffs as a whole. So, well, actually, I should say myself. I'm talking from third person, I guess. But either way, it's like if you dominate a season, there's no guarantee that you're gonna win the championship. So I don't know.
Also,
Yeah, I mean, like Monster just said, look at last season. He dominated the season, but in the end of it, I came out with the championship.
also, putting the stream on hold for a second because due to Castro Neves has asked me where to join the call, and I said anywhere. So, we're just waiting for him. But you guys can keep playing or not. Sorry. You guys can keep talking about
But playing Madden 19.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Truex Fan.
What?
You really are one with grammar errors. Anyway,
19.
Dudes Castro Neves has joined the chat, and we welcome him up into the Fanta Weekly podcast. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So earlier we were talking about how your future with Truex Fan Racing, and also your first win in your first start, which is incredible, honestly, because you have just made history first, as the first rookie to win in their first start. That's honestly incredible. And let's see, what was your reaction when you were watching it?
I was like, man, I gotta finish top three. I was like, I've been there the whole race. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. Up there in the top three. I think almost the whole race or something like that. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, this is it. Everyone wrecks. Like 30 cars, I think, wrecked out. And the caution is waived, and we just finish it off.
Yep, and you definitely did. You held position on that last lap, especially with a lot of pressure. But we are on our seventh topic already, and our final one for the day: playoff picks. So obviously you are a rookie, so unfortunately you are not playoff eligible unless you get unless you're full time for the rest of the season with another driver's points, which is allowed. So maybe you can get up there into that top 16.
He'll be have he'll have Coley's points. So
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so checking I'm just gonna check points. 1 second. So
Where is Coley in the point standings? Let's
yeah,
see.
I was gonna say that. Let's just see here.
Coley is 42nd in points.
Oh goodness, with only 42 points. But the question
Dudes
is,
is tied with him.
yeah, I
Question.
mean, that would put him. Okay, so 42 plus 42 is 84, which that would put him in 32nd in points. But would he also get Quad Kid Boys points?
Well, if Quad's coming back to the 78.
the quad's coming back to the 78.
Okay, so that
So
means
add the
yeah. So,
no, he wouldn't get quad's points.
So that means Castro Neves would be put in 32nd.
Yep.
So he's gonna have a lot of work to do.
Not for us.
Yep. So, do you think, dudes? Do you think you can, you know, have decent runs, finish maybe top 5, and point yourself towards the playoffs?
Top five. Point myself towards a playoff. What do you mean, my man? We're up there. We're gonna fight for the championship. This car is fast. This Truex Fan Racing car. I mean, that day it just felt perfect. It feels like it's gonna be perfect. I know it is. It's a great car. The aerodynamics really did help, especially with the Series XM and the Nation or the Auto Nation sponsor. I think this car has a chance at either a top three or a shot for the championship. We are really fast out there.
Oh, definitely. You're definitely gonna have a lot of work to do, but you're definitely gonna be one of the favorites heading in to the next when you're in the 19. So we're gonna be watching you. And back to playoff picks. Let's look at some guys around the bubble. So let me go back to points. Nickname is on the bubble with 131 points, and he is just 1 point clear of Zach and Hero. So
And not too far back, we have another tie between Festive and Monster, 19th and 20th in points.
then Patrick Starr and Zawolf just 2 points behind them. And then we also had a driver swap when AJ left the server, and Fireball Talks NASCAR. David Kreutz has taken over the ride in the 62, and he also inherited AJ's points. So that means he's going to be put in the 23rd position with 112 points. So he's a little far back to that cutoff. Let me just look up. Let me just calculate how many points. 1 second.
But if we look towards the top of the board, while you're doing that, we have Moth, who has a pretty good points lead over Truex Fan after that Coca-Cola race, which Truex Fan's been quietly consistent. I wouldn't rule him out of being a contender late in the season.
Oh yeah, definitely. Moff is clear by hold on, let me see it again. Can't really remember it off the top of my head, but he's clear by 15 points. So yeah, Moff has gotten a decent gap in the championship lead.
Not for long.
Yeah, probably because Truex fan can run him down. Yeah.
Don't also forget Jessica. She's third in points, 1 point behind Truex Fan.
Oh yeah, Jessica's gonna have a fight it as well as Dre. Andrew Schulte, as he has 181 points. He is just 21 points back, but he can easily make that up. A lot of guys, they're pretty close together in points. I'd say
I mean, it's
the first driver
still early.
I'd say the first driver that's like, really far back from getting the championship lead is probably Throttle in 7th place with 156. And then Leo just behind him by 3 points. Then Byron.
Leo's been really impressive this season.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody expected him to be top 16 in points.
Oh yeah.
And look where he
did.
is.
Nobody did. Definitely.
Let's look. I mean, the runs that he's had this season speak for themselves.
Could have had a chance at Coca-Cola if that big wreck didn't happen, but
And
I mean,
it wasn't even his fault either. He just got caught up in the middle of it. But also, this point, we haven't really talked about guys like Slinky, Ford Boy, who are also above the cut line currently.
I feel like we should also be talking about Thunder, because Thunder's been really good this season.
Yeah, even after having the worst season last season in season 5.
Yeah.
He's sitting 11th in the standings right now, tied with Lions for 12th. And then he has Gaming Freak just ahead of him by 3 points. Then Connor is right there on that cut line, just clear by 6 points. So Connor's got a lot of work to do if he wants to stay above the cut line.
And 4 of our winners this season are in the top 16. The 5th one being Zevel. He's not even in the top 20 in points.
Yeah.
He is actually,
yeah, he's 29th. Yeah.
so he's
He's
actually got a lot of work to do.
Go ahead, Trixie.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say he has a lot of work to do to get up there to the.
Yep, and also, who else has won? Castro Neves has also won. He's back there, but he is part-time, so pretty much expected from him. But Zevel, ever since he got the first win, he has had no momentum whatsoever.
If we look further back in points, Quadruped is 51st in points with that 100-point penalty from Vegas. He's pretty much in a hole right now as it is.
Yeah, I think he's already, eliminated from any shot at the playoffs.
Sorry to interrupt, but Thunder, you forgot to change the screen.
Oh. No, oh wait, no. I did. I just tabbed out. That's why.
Oh.
We got Chicago and then Talladega. Talladega is going to be a strong track for the Toyotas, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah,
The bump
Coca-Cola
track,
is it?
the super speedways are strong with the Toyotas in this season at least. It's been pretty fast. I know Truex was up there at time in the Coca-Cola race. Chicagoland's going to be a bit different. So yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. Coca-Cola is also in the playoffs, so that's going to be interesting coming into the last 3 races.
Oh, yep. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, you said it. A lot of Toyotas were fast in that race. Like the Team 7 cars, they were the Team 7 Toyotas. They were up front for most of the last part of the race until unfortunately they got wrecked in that last big one. And Truex Fan, as you said, was also up there along with a couple of your teammates, Divine and forgot the other one. So it's Divine. It was Divine, you, Truex Fan, and who else? else? Damn. Oh,
Are
Jaden.
we talking
Jaden.
Toyotas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jaden. Jaden was also there. So the Truex Fan Racing cars were pretty dominant, but also the Red Bull cars were working together.
Yeah.
Like you saw in the middle of the race, Throttle and Noisy were working together most of the time to get up there. So the Toyotas were pretty strong, and we're gonna have to. It's gonna be a thriller to watch if they can stay that way. I mean, the Chevys, they haven't really had much luck on the super speedways, and also the Fords as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Ford should honestly be strong up there. I know I'm just a guest tonight, but I want to speak a little because I know a bit of these cars. But usually the Fords are supposed to be a bit strong. They're not race-winning cars, I'd say, at super speedways, but they're always consistently running in those top 10s and super speedways. Like you almost always see them. But when it comes to Chevys, they either win it or they completely wreck. So it's like a wild card car or wild card car. You want to pick Chevy, you either win or you're out of the race.
Well, I feel like there's a few good Chevy drivers out there. Like Moff, he's been good pretty much anywhere there is. I mean, he's ran top 5 pretty much every single race this season. But sometimes his bad luck put him in a bad spot or something like that.
Let's just
So
say
he's
he had the worst luck, but at the same time the best luck at Auto Club
mm-hmm.
because he ran out of fuel. But then after he ran out of fuel, the whole field ran out of fuel. So that put him back up to first. And he was already running up there before he did run out of fuel. But
Oh wow.
so yeah, fuel mileage chaos was there in Auto Club. So
That track always has that. I ran in another series that track and in another game too with two different cars. I ran several races there, and it's always a fuel mileage race. Always, always.
yep, definitely. So
I gotta say, there was like 15 cars that were like stopped on the track on that.
oh
Like,
definitely
what was it?
yeah.
First overtime attempt.
The thing I don't get about that though is that most of those cars, there was a caution before that all those cars ran out of fuel, and surprisingly no one pitted. So that's it's kind of what baffles me. And
Well,
everyone
honestly,
else
me,
did.
I thought we would have able to make it the whole way.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately for you, Connor, you had the bad luck of getting wrecked on the last lap. Which is pretty unfortunate because you were having a good run. So, honestly, it's going to be a wild card how what the rest of the season goes. And, yeah, just looking forward to it.
I mean,
So,
I'm kind of looking forward to the All-Star race the most because it's a little exhibition race. Everyone's just gonna have some fun out on the racetrack.
Where's it gonna be?
I think it's gonna be my first All-Star race appearance. I think.
Dodge Motordrome,
yeah.
by the way.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. So who do you
Actually, Dodge
who
Motordrome
do
is
you
a-
got for your All-Star race picks?
All-Star race picks, forgot who won the All-Star race last season.
AJ won last season.
Oh, yeah.
He dipped.
Yeah,
So
he's gone now. But,
yeah,
so,
fortunately.
Castro Neves, I think he's going to be in the All-Star this season now because of his win.
Well, that's if Fan has a seat open for him. I mean, he could
yeah.
put him
I
in the
do.
Yeah,
66
he's-
unless
Signed
he
a
puts him in the
contract.
90.
Signed a contract on the 19.
Yeah, he's
I'd
going
put
to
him
be
in
on
the
the team
19.
for the rest of the season, so he's
All
definitely going
right.
to be in the All-Star race.
And currently a free agent for the next season, but I will be possibly renegotiating with Truex Fan.
Well, yeah, and if you do, it's gonna be fun to see you in the next season as well in season 7.
Which
Yeah.
can I just mention real quick? There's gonna be there's like in terms of the lineup for the teams, there are going to be, excuse my language, but a hell of a lot of changes for these teams next season.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I'm rebranding my team from Toyota to Chevy, and I'm completely changing my driver lineup. Well, I'm changing half of my driver lineup. Slinky's staying on the team, but
And plus, we gotta bring in the amount of the amount of news that are coming out from Texas motorsports and the changes that I'm making. Oh,
Don't forget Monster Boss Motorsports too.
yeah. Hell, one of the big news. Monster's coming over to the team.
Oh, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is the first time since Monster's driven in a Ford since Matt Kenseth Racing was a thing, which was in like season 3, I think.
Which, funny enough, I was a fill-in driver for.
Oh yeah, yeah, you were.
But yeah, you got Monster. I'm moving Pendray over to the 99 as I'm retiring the 92 next season to make way for the 39. And the 28, surprisingly enough, for a second season in a row, is going to have a rookie. I'm not planning on keeping Zawolf. However, I did have a decision in mind that I've honestly wanting to been making even before season 6 started. I'm bringing Dr. Pepper Pug up to the Cup Series full time.
All right, well that's gonna be interesting to watch.
Let's take a look at some other teams. Monster Boss Motorsports, 4 cars, 2 rookies, 2 veterans in those seats.
And also, I'll let you finish, Monster.
As BP will be making his first full season in the 4 car.
Actually, his second full season.
Okay. NASCAR fans going to be coming back to full-time action in the 10 car. Then I'm going to be bringing Red will be driving the number 11 for his rookie campaign, and Brandon Beal will be driving the number 14 for his second season.
And yep, that's gonna be very interesting to watch as well. And also, one other thing, the news with my team and me with Ole Miss Rebels Racing, I've signed on to Ole Miss Rebels Racing for next season, and surprisingly, and everyone was pretty shocked about it because I usually don't, I usually have my own team and I don't really, I haven't signed on to anybody else's team in a while, but.
I mean, look at Danny Hamlin in the real world.
Oh yeah,
He owns a
definitely.
team.
That's true.
He's on Joe Gibbs Racing, but he also owns a team, which is basically how I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be on Ole Miss Rebels Racing, and I'm gonna have my own team next season. It's gonna have Aiden Walker on it. He's pretty good. He's tended to be pretty good on the short tracks and the road courses, not only in his legend cars but in the Fanta Cup Series as well, as he did score his first and only career win so far at Richmond in season 3. So
I mean, and the other thing with this is Ole Miss Rebels Racing. They have 2 cars this season. They go to 4 next season.
yeah, I think that team is making some good progress because they went from basically, I've said this before and I'll say it again, they went from an underdog team to a championship threat. So that's gonna be fun to watch for them. Obviously, I hope I'm gonna do great because it's a new environment of people I'm gonna be working with, and it's also gonna be the same environment of people at the same time because I have my team that I'm managing with Walker. Matthew Hill joins the team for the first time. This is the first time I think ever since this is the first time ever in our 2003 series that Matthew Hill has ran a Chevy.
That should be interesting to watch.
And it's on my team as well. And also Legends, Kenneth Miller. I'll let you go after Trix fan, but
Yep.
So Kenneth Miller, Legends, he's had some pretty good progress. He has had some decent runs in his part-time schedule with Monster Boss Motorsports this season. And obviously, Monster, I know you've been keeping track of his stats, but he's going over to my team next season, and I think he's gonna have a pretty good shot. I think Slinky, Matthew, and Legends are pretty much a deadly trio for next season.
Indeed.
But I think
Yep.
I think Gaten Walker is going to be a threat also because, as I said again, he's you know, road courses and short tracks are the tracks that he's good at. He's the best at. So, he's gonna be fun to watch on those types of tracks as well. And yep. So that's gonna be fun to watch. We're gonna have fun watching the rest of the season. The rest of the rest of the rest of the season, and we're gonna have fun watching the playoffs as well. So to end it off, to end off the podcast for today, how would you guys say? What do you guys say? How do you guys say the season's gonna go?
I say we're gonna probably have some surprise winners here and there, like Dudes, Castroneves, that Coca-Cola. Probably gonna have some surprise winners here and there, but
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a great season.
All right. Well, that concludes the first episode of the Fanta Weekly podcast. Thank you so much to everybody for watching. I'm Thunder 24 fan, Shrix fan, Monster, Ottercat, and Deuce Castroneves.